Hi friends, hi family, happy Monday. We'll give it a few minutes here. Today is the 11th. Sorry, okay, we're settled. We are settled. Hey Nikki. The dogs. Hi Nikki. How's it going? How's it going, friends? I have the doggies with me, as always, being needy. Hey Hazel. I'm just giving it a few moments for folks to join. How's everyone's Monday going? I see we have a couple of viewers. Oh, problem with long hair is it gets stuck in everything. Sorry. How's your Monday, Nikki? And everyone else that's on? My dogs are literally pushing me off the chair. And see, today, I got overwhelmed today. Really just before this feed from just all the Zoom meetings. They burned me out quite a bit. So leading up to this feed, I just got a little squirrely. Definitely a Monday. Nikki, I can relate. It's definitely a Monday. Although in the grand scheme of things, hi Jake. Grand scheme of things, nothing's wrong. I have roof over my head and food on the table. I have to really remind myself to live in gratitude in some of the moments where I get flustered. Because it's just life. It's just what it is, right? We're all going through it. We're all a part of it. Hi, Linda. We have our moments, our ups and downs. We're looking to kind of revamp or change some things up with our live feeds in the next week or two, after this week maybe. And we want to hear from you what you would be interested in talking about, hearing about. We're going to be doing like dual feeds where there's going to be two of us having conversations on topics, maybe fielding inquiries, things of that sort. So we're going to be posting or kind of putting out a poll maybe for people to take a peek at and see what things are of interest to them, or how we can, I don't know, how can we be helpful in whatever that looks like. Because sometimes we just have to change things up, and I think now is a good time. You've gotten to know us some, and we have a couple of other staff members, quite a few other staff that don't do these live feeds, and we'd love to have them come on too, and engage with some more folks. Today I picked a reading. I have both my daily reading books out. I'll do this one. I couldn't choose, so I'm just picking up one and going with it. May 11th. Bad moments, like good ones, tend to be grouped together. Edna O'Brien. Isn't that the truth, though? You know, I feel like when it rains and pours, I mean, there's a saying, so it must be true. Rough times may be pouring in on us at the moment, and they may seem unending. Difficulties appear to attract more difficulties. Problems with loved ones, problems at work, problems with our appearances. A negative attitude, something that we all struggle with at times, some of us more than others, is the culprit. And it goes back to that attitude, right? It's all in how we perceive and view the world. It's all in how we take in the energy that's around us. If we're in this mindset of like poor me, or why is this happening? And not in a negative way. I think the way he said it might be perceived negatively, but more of like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? You know, it's not like a poor me, attention seeking poor me. It's more just that perception of like, what else is going to go wrong? Like, I'm already going through it. What else is going to happen? And that kind of energy attracts similar energy, right? We're run on energy in many ways. Hi, Mary Ellen and Mary Ellen. There's two Mary Ellens, and Karen. Welcome, ladies. So really, our attitude has so much to do with the things we welcome into our lives, but also how we perceive the outside world and the situation we open the doors to, right? When the good times come, as they always do, they are accompanied by a positive attitude. We do find what we look for. Our attitude is crucial. It determines our experiences. A trying situation can be tolerated with relative ease when we have a positive, trusting attitude. We forget, generally, that we have an inner source of strength to meet every situation. We forget the simple truth. All is well at this moment and at every moment. When the moments feel good, our presence is light, cheery. When the moments are heavy, so are we. So you see how that works? I don't know if you've ever had that experience of it's just things keep going wrong or things just keep going right? And how we handle those situations is so different. Negativity breeds negativity, right? And same with positivity. And it's all in our perception and our attitudes. I talk about living in gratitude or having an attitude of acceptance, especially in trying times, right? Can really change our circumstances. Even when the outside circumstances don't change, they change our inner beliefs, our inner well-being, the energy that we put out and the energy we allow back into our lives. Brody's doing some weird stretches here between chairs, so I'm sure he's going to fall soon. I can turn my day around. I can change the flavor of today's experiences. I can lift my spirits and know all is well. And again, it boils down to such simplicity. You know, we take for granted all the, I call them privileges. I always refer to them as privileges. Sorry. Are you good, bud? Because we're not guaranteed. It's kind of not a promise, right? Like, we live in an incredible country with a lot of opportunities, but sometimes we forget that not everyone in the country has access to these opportunities. Some of the folks that are more vulnerable, that are marginalized, right? There's people in our country, in our state, in our city going hungry. And sometimes we have excess, of stuff. So those little basic, basic privileges are pretty significant. They may seem basic to us. I'm like, yeah, I have a roof over my head. Like, yeah, I worked hard for this, that, and the other thing. But I didn't work harder than someone else working minimum wage did, So I think about some of those, I don't know. I'm going to go on a rant here. Living in gratitude. Being grateful for not being outside in the rain, sleet, snow, whatever is happening, right? I'm grateful that I can go to a warm house, that I'm not wet, that I sleep in a comfy bed. Grateful to have the ability to say no. I think that's a really big one. For a long time, I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to set healthy boundaries. I didn't know how to have respect for myself or others, But being able to use my voice and being able to respect my being in every which way is definitely one of the gifts of recovery. that we all have the ability to tap into, right? It's something that's so simple, but yet so hard to do at times. Hi, Bill. Patrick joined us. Kathy, hey guys, good to see ya. I see a thumbs up flying on my screen there. But yeah, this kind of like fundamental idea of constantly living in gratitude and not falling for those traps, because it's easy to have a great attitude when things are going our way. It's easy to be happy and excited and emit positive energy when all is well, right? Great things are happening. But the true test is when things aren't going our way. What happens to our attitude? How do we respond to the world? Are we reacting or are we responding? That's a big, big difference. How do we handle the conflicts in our lives? How do we show up for other people when we're not necessarily feeling 100%? All these different ways that are kind of to take our, the dogs, I get distracted easily, but all these simple little ways to kind of take our temperature to see where we're at. I hear a lot, this one's like a really simple one that I forget. I'm like, whatever. But it's super important. If you guys have ever heard HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, it's super simple. A lot of times when I'm cranky and I'm going through it, I forget that it's one of those 4 simple things is off. A lot of times it's because I'm hungry. Being lonely or tired or other things. If I have one, odds are my mood's going down, my attitude's going down. If I have more than one, I'm at risk of causing some harm, and that looks different for different people. For some, having multiple of those pieces missing or feeling a void in those areas leads to a return to use. For others, it shifts attitude, it hurts them, it hurts relationships. So something so simple as taking your own temperature, checking, like, are you hungry? Are you tired? Are you lonely? Are you angry? And what can you do about that? Because those are things you have control over, right? Someone making you angry you might not have control over, but what you do with your anger is something that you can control and you can change, right? And that's one of the great, great gifts of recovery and sobriety as a whole, is being able to express ourselves in a healthy way, right? Or in the past, an active addiction, and if I was feeling off, usually it resulted in unhealthy behavior. And that looks different for everyone, where if I'm feeling off today, I have a whole box of tools that I can use that I've learned through other people in recovery. And I could implement them and use them in my life to not act in the same ways that I did when I was in active use. I was talking to someone earlier about kind of where we are, right? Like recovery in terms of opening and pause and these things being lifted and whatever. And it's a really hard decision to make. It was a really, really hard decision to make to close our center. For me, it just went against everything that I had wanted recovery to be, this safe place and in this like crisis, but it was like the lesser of the 2 evils, what's safer for our folks, and we have a responsibility, right? And now with restrictions, like pause kind of changing, some things starting to return. I can't even say to normal, but whatever. So things are changing, right? We know things are changing. Kind of where do we stand? And we had different opinions, and I'm more of like, I don't know, dreamer. I don't know what you'd call it. Patrick wrote, the process of inventory is the most important self-care that I can do in recovery. HALT and Affect My changed my life. Yeah, Patrick, absolutely. I think that's spot on for me too. To really do some work, dig deep, to work out those things that make me tick, the things that I was hiding, the trauma, right? I'm a firm believer in like trauma being really interwoven in our paths in recovery, and it looks different for everyone, of course, but look, dig deep. That was really important for me. And it definitely wasn't an undertaking I was open to when I was in active addiction, right? I wasn't in a place where I could take a look at myself. And having come out of hell, essentially, right? Active addiction, I don't know, I tend to call it hell. And be able to do some reflection, be able to take a look at my past, at my history, at my behaviors, at the situations, right? The people, the trauma has incrementally improved my life, continues to change my life every day. Yeah, so thinking of like what to do next, when do we open, when do we not open, what do we do next, right? I think that's the question for a lot of people. And being able to have that conversation with different opinions, because I need everyone's input, right? This isn't like Yana's world. I need to have different opinions. So we had different opinions is the gist of that one. And it's like a heavy decision to make. But it's an important one. I was going somewhere with that, and I forgot where I was going with that. Yep. Attitude. Attitude. So in like disagreements, depending on what my attitude is, I can react, right? Or I can be thoughtful in my response, and I don't have to take everything personally. And that's pretty cool, to have like an educated debate, or whatever you want to call it, a discussion, right? Not everything's an argument. It could just be a discussion, and you could agree to disagree. I'm really going on a tangent here. Patrick, in active addiction and pre-inventory, I was only angry and inconsolably sad. Yeah, inventory put the Y words to those feelings. I really like how you put that. Inventory put the Y words. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Angry and inconsolably sad. Wow. What an incredible change, right? What an incredible change from like I could feel that. I could feel those words. Inconsolably sad. It was just this utter hopelessness, right? And today, even though the situation might be scary, everything's different, we don't have to be inconsolably sad. I know I'm not, because I get to live this beautiful, sober life surrounded by other people in recovery. And being able to connect with people in recovery is really what fuels my soul. So it's that, I think that's the hard part of making these like big decisions about our programs and what to do and how to limit risk, right? It's all about risk. And are we risking more by staying closed longer, or by opening up? I don't know. Heavy things. I'm just shooting the crap here, going on tangent all over the place. There was really no point to that. I'm just sharing where I'm at. It might be weird, but I feel like I've built a relationship with you guys. I see a lot of familiar faces, some new folks. I always love the interaction and the feedback. It stinks when I'm the only one talking because I like to engage with you guys. That's that seeking connection piece, right? We're seeking growth and connection, and I don't know, all good things. So keep your attitude at your forefront. And I mean attitude in terms of checking in with yourself, seeing where you're at, what kind of frame of mind. If there are things happening to you that are outside of your control, the way that you internalize them, the way that you cope with them are within your control, right? And having like this idea of living in gratitude or accepting of the situations around us, right, allows us to be thoughtful in our responses and to stop ourselves from reacting. It's kind of like that knee-jerk reaction. Usually I need 2 to 3 thoughts. My initial thought that comes to mind if I'm in a position where I don't know, you could kind of feel it, right? Like your maybe chest tightens or you have this like rush where a reaction's gonna come out. My first thought is usually my bratty thought that I shouldn't act on. And the second or third thought is kind of that intuitive thought that shows me how to respond in a thoughtful, compassionate way. And how to use my voice and verbalize where I'm at in a thoughtful and compassionate way. You see, hey Kirsten, hi Eileen, Danny, hi ladies, good to see you. Thinking of you, Kirsten. You're definitely in my heart. Yeah, so staying on this side of positivity, it's really hard to be optimistic all the time. It's really hard to be, super positive all the time. By no means am I like a walking ray of light. Susie might be. If you haven't seen the picture, Susie shows up at your front door in a giant blow-up sun costume, and she's just absolutely wonderful. Karen, I really like that halt concept. What did T? Tired. T means tired. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Love you, Kirsten. Usually when I'm in a bad mood, one of those 4 things is definitely off. Every single time my mood is off, one of those 4 things is what I'm experiencing. It's so simple but so powerful and so useful. You're welcome, Karen. So tune into yourselves, check in with yourselves. Pat, I also add an S for sick to halt. That's a good one. I like it. Yeah, if I'm I was gonna make a man cold joke. I'm not gonna do that. But if I'm feeling sick, I'm definitely kind of crabby. For sure. Halts. So check your internal barometer there. Check in with yourself. Make sure you're eating. I know some folks are struggling with boredom eating, but that could be a tool for that, or maybe a way to look at that could be to look at like the intention. Is boredom eating trying to mask something that you're feeling? Is it your way to cope? Are there other ways to cope? Can you take a nap, right? Are you tired? Are you really hungry? Are you tired? Can you call someone and talk about what you're feeling? Yeah. So be kind to yourselves as always. Be gentle. Be kind to your friends, your family, even if they're getting on your nerves. And pause when you hear different opinions or hear things that you don't necessarily agree with. Because sometimes if we just get defensive right away, we miss the message. And sometimes there's some useful information in different opinions. So I think that's all I got. Another one of those Yana went on a tangent feeds. Hope I don't know. Hope that was good for you guys. Have a great night. Again, let us know. We're looking at revamping what we're doing with the live feed. So shoot us a message or comment here, letting us know, like, what are some of the things you're interested in hearing about or would like to see us doing. Or we're going to be going with 2 people. So Kirsten and Chelsea, in a little bit. I don't have a date yet, a couple weeks maybe. We're going to be doing some, what did we call it, Kirsten? Chelston, because people always confuse Kirsten and Chelsea. Chelston, maybe, whatever it is. But they're going to be doing some live conversation with you guys. So give us your feedback, give us your input, let us know what you like, what you didn't like. And yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Hope you have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Much love.